Well, I'm very excited to announce our bonus round.
Full of funness, bro, that he wheezes off of me.
Weasel little Jew.
Ooh, Sir Edge, cause I'm wheezing on your grind, it's just chill, cause if I had the whole Brady Bunch thing happen at my pad, I'd go grind over there. So don't tax my gig so hardcore, Cruster.
That's right. Our bonus round is focused on Mr. 90s himself, Pauly Shore.
Yeah!
Yes.
I knew all of you out there were listening going, when are they going to say a Pauly Shore movie?
Yeah, everybody's like,
Yeah, you
please,
can't not.
please. Oh my gosh, the king of the '90s trends himself.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the Kanye West of the '90s. Okay, maybe not. There were so many to choose from, so we decided each person would take on one of their favorite Pauly Shore movies. So let's do it. Jared, you want to go?
Oh, I would love to. My pick was for Son-in-Law.
Yes.
If you don't remember, it's the story. I believe it's a farm girl. Was she like trying to get back at like her family or something? So she brings her friend from college to piss off her parents.
Yeah, the crazy RA.
Yeah.
Right.
And I guess her folks are pretty conservative and farm folk. And then here comes Pauly Shore in his probably one of his most 90 outfits ever.
Probably some leopard cut-off jeans. Definitely a jean jacket cut-off vest. Big bandana. A lot of necklaces.
Yeah. Basically just layer upon layer of awful.
Yeah.
And well, I didn't notice. I never knew it because I didn't know who she was at the time. But it has a young Carla Gugino in it, who became much more famous in her later years.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got Tiffany Amber Thiessen. She's probably one of the queens of the '90s.
Oh yeah.
It's got the bad guy from the Mighty Ducks. he's the dad. It's got the little kid, the little redhead kid from
Sandlot.
From the Sandlot. He's the younger brother, and he's got like the most '90s name. His name is Crawl in the movie.
Crawl.
I mean, it's very very Pauly Shore. And, you know, just like all Pauly Shore movies, he's got his isms that he has to use. His, you know, like the Weasel and his little sayings. It's super 90s, but kind of charming in the same vein. But my favorite part of this entire movie is when Pauly Shore gets punched in the face. And the way he whimpers after getting punched is too funny. Oh, why'd you do that? Oh, too funny. I don't find Pauly Shore very funny, but that was very funny.
Totally.
So, Son-in-Law, that is my pick.
All right, so my Pauly Shore pick, I am going with Biodome.
What?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man. So this movie, it's basically him and Stephen Baldwin, the most successful Baldwin brother, obviously.
Oh, yeah. He's the best.
And they're like a couple of, like, you know, stoner slacker types who are just trying to look for a place to go to the bathroom. And they think they're going to a mall, but it's actually a biodome, which is basically they're doing a bunch of scientific experiments in there, and you know they're completely out of their element because they have no idea what to do with, you know, anything to do with science, but they get into a bunch of shenanigans and the computer gets pissed off at them and just all kinds of stuff. And so this movie also has Jack Black in it. Ooh. And is also the first time that Tenacious D was ever on screen before.
Oh, that's right. I just watched a video about that. Yeah, I was like, I don't even remember them being in it, but yeah,
in the middle of a drum circle.
Yeah, exactly. And also randomly, Kylie Minogue is in it.
Yeah, she plays one of the girls.
Yeah, she's a scientist girl.
Yeah.
I learned so much about, well, music from this soundtrack of this movie. I was really big into like at the time in the 90s I was really into movie soundtracks.
Hmm.
And I remember getting Biodome because I loved all the music and it was just
Hmm.
first time I heard like Safety Dance, first time I heard like all sorts of stuff. It was a very interesting soundtrack, but I always loved that movie because it was just all the shenanigans. It was like, man, that would be cool to like get locked in a dome and
Screw
just
around
and have fun. It was just
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had the King 90s D-bag himself, William Atherton, who was the D-bag in Die Hard as the reporter. He was the D-bag in Ghostbusters.
oh yeah.
He's the D-bag in Biodome.
Stop.
No, he's more of the 80s. More of the 80s D-bag, but he bled into the 90s a little
Yeah,
bit.
he
Yeah.
reprised his D-bag role. Yeah.
Oh man. I've watched this one recently too, and I find it pretty funny. It's just I think Stephen Baldwin he's the one that makes it hard to watch. He's like doing his Barney Rubble, like when he played Barney
Yeah.
Rubble.
Oh gosh.
He's doing that kind of character, and that's very hard to watch without wanting to punch him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows the true Barney Rubble is Rick Moranis.
Oh, yeah.
There, I said it.
Rick Moranis he's the boss. He even got the
Yeah.
voice down. Hey Fred.
Hey, Fred. Another 90s movie that is definitely not qualified for this movie. The Flintstones. Not a terrible movie at all.
No.
Again, I probably should watch it again, and then my adult
Yeah, then make a judgment.
opinion might sink in a little more and be like, ugh, Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh my gosh! Didn't we do an episode of worst casting choices? Yeah.
Yes.
She was
Ugh,
my
Holly
pick.
Berry, what is she doing in
Oh
here?
my gosh! I just watched that. I watched Flintstones and Flintstones 2.
Oh,
And did you know that? Do you know who played Fred in Flintstones 2, or the Viva Rock Vegas?
no, I'm not aware. Who?
Robert Baratheon.
What? I knew that. Okay, that is so ridiculous. He
Isn't
was
that
also
crazy?
on the Full Monty.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah, that's really, really random.
Yeah.
He got famous way later with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got better.
Yeah. I got better. Yeah.
Too bad Stephen Baldwin didn't get better.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Biodome. Really
Good
one.
pick.
All right.
You're up.
Finishing up the show. My pick for 90s movie, specialized Pauly Shore, is Specimen 1, which started all Encino Man.
All
That's-
right.
Yeah.
Yes, Encino Man was such a 90s movie. It had Pauly Shore. It had Brendan Fraser as a caveman. Also his first real big breakout role, I think. And then it had Sean Austin as the like square main character who happened to just, be the straight-laced one to just offset Pauly Shore's like crazy, friend. Complete opposites. I mean, Sean Austin was so lame and straight-laced in the movie. They didn't even put him on the cover of the movie. It was just Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser. and it was just like, oh my gosh, it's just had so many like of the best Pauly Shore lines that he used for the rest of his career. Them going to high school, every character in the high school was like a 90s stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bully douchebag was like the biggest D-bag on the planet. Oh man, and at the end of the movie, he reveals to the entire school, he's a caveman. And then the crowd just like silence, and then yeah, and they all cheer and go nuts. Why would a mid-90s high school crowd not think that was awesome? It's like, oh, it's like you're not going to shock anybody there, bub. There's a lot of funny parts in the movie. A lot of things that are just so 90s about it.
Yeah.
I brought up some pictures, and there's a picture of Pauly Shore in his lovely striped pants, and all it says is, "I just want to munch."
Oh man.
It's
Uh,
much.
just want to munch.
Like the best scene in the entire movie is when he takes him to the convenience store and teaches him the four main food groups.
Oh yeah.
And the clerk, who always plays that stereotypical Indian, Middle Eastern older man, was the clerk. Anyway, he was like sticking his mouth underneath the Slurpee machine. He's like, "No squeezing the juice." That was good. Well, he said that after Pauly Shore.
Oh yeah. I see him now. The guy. He was the guy. He was the guy in Stargate.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in that, and Pauly Shore was like, "I'm just trying to get some juice." Juice, and he's like, "Oh, squeezing the juice." Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's so many movies on this list now that I really want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was just kind of a funny movie in the sense that, like, yes, the ridiculous plot could have easily been placed in the 80s, the 2000s, but it was in the 90s, and it was so funny it worked out that way because they made him look like another Pauly Shore. It's just like, man, freaking 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 90s.
Yeah. He said in Spanish to those gangsters, "The cheese is old and moldy. Where's the bathroom?" That was.
All right, so that is our list of 90s movies that don't quite hold up today.
Yes.
With our special friend Pauly Shore at the end.
Yes.
Or do they?
Yeah, you be the judge. You watch them now and see if you still enjoy them. In fact, we should do a follow-up episode where we watch all of these.
Yes.
I really, really want to watch Rad right now.
Oh man, I could watch every single movie we mentioned on this list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even ones that are not official, just the ones that we just like briefed over. I don't think I want to watch Batman and Robin.
Nah.
Yeah, we can skip that one.
Can never leave the cave without it.
Oh, nice to meet you.
So, yeah, thank you for listening, and it's good to be back. You all have a great week.
All right, take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Grind is Weasel. Crush. Juice.